Well, hello there, folks. Awful good to see you again. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's time for another edition of What's for Supper with Dickie Baker. Boy, I tell you what, we got something special planned today. Every once in a while, old Dickie likes to try something a little bit new, and I don't always like it, but his mother always says, you know, if you don't try it, you'll never know. So we're going to give her a whirl today. But I got a good feeling I'm going to like what we're whipping up today, because it's got two of my most favorite things in the world, folks, in it. It's got Moxie and baked beans, and I don't think you can much go wrong with those two ingredients. Now, we're also going to jazz it up a little bit, just to work things up into a lather. We're going to throw some spicy chorizo sausage into that bad boy, and I think we're going to be mighty pleased. Now, you might be wondering where Dickie got a crazy sounding recipe like this. Well, I'll tell you, where else would you get a recipe like that but from the folks down in Lisbon, Maine. They put together a cookbook called Cooking with Moxie, and it's got all kinds of delicious things you can make with Moxie. Whoopie pies and Moxie and Allen's coffee brandy. You can't go wrong with stuff like that, folks. But we're going to take a recipe out of here. It's called Moxie Boomers. Now, Moxie Boomers, I think you can figure that out probably, folks, because you know, Saturday night and all, there's usually a little bit of orchestrating going on in the bedroom after being supper, so that sausage might add a little bit to that, but we'll have to wait and see what the result is. Now, folks, if you go through your life and only ever remember one thing that Dickie Baker said, let it be this: always use good quality Maine ingredients when you can. And sometimes that means paying a little extra, but that's okay. Even I do it once in a while, and I'm cheap enough to skin a flint. Let's take a look at some of the things we got for today's recipe. So, of course, folks, the main ingredient we got here is we went out and got us 2 pounds of the soldier beans, a state of Maine quality, packed by the good folks up at Green Thumb Farms in Freiburg. You know, I met them folks before, and they get an awful lot of good stuff going on up there. You should check them out sometime if you're ever up in Freiburg, but, you know, you can look for their products in the old Shop and Save, or as they call it now, Hannaford. Now, folks, for our other main ingredient, we've got none other than that magical elixir known as Moxie. Now, I could go on and on for days about the beneficial properties of this particular beverage, but I wouldn't want to take up too much more time with it right now. But suffice it to say that it will treat everything from softening of the brain to loss of manhood. So you got to be figuring that any beverage with that kind of reputation, that Dickie Baker must throw one back every now and again, and well, you'd be right. I also throw in a little bit of Allen's coffee brandy in there once in a while, just to keep things interesting and keep the vitality up, you know. I like to call that a Buxton Slinger. It's very good, folks, sometime. Try it on ice, you'll love it. So, folks, I got out my favorite bean soaking bowl here, the old lobster bowl. We also use it, as you might imagine, to throw the old lobster shells in. That one time a year we have lobster. But I'm just going to go ahead and dump about 1 pound of this 2 pounds of beans into the bowl. Now, we're going to pick through it a little bit, folks, and we're going to look for any duds or any stones or any other foreign matter that might be in there. These beans have been awfully well picked over. I don't think we're going to find anything bad in there at all. Now, folks, every recipe, as you might imagine, has that moment, that what I like to call the magic moment, where the things come together, and that's what really makes the dish, right then and there. Well, in this recipe, that magic moment comes very early, folks, and here it is, right here. You take some wonderful, wonderful baked beans. Well, they're not baked yet, but they're going to be. And look at that, folks, all foaming up with the Moxie. We're going to put, the recipe calls for a can and a half. It just so happens they make these little Moxie half cans that we used to call pudding cans back in the day. My old boys up in Old Town probably remember that. When you say, hey, go to the store and get me some pudding cans of Budweiser. Yep, them were the days. So you can't look at that and tell me that that ain't going to take on some awful, awful good flavor. Them beans, they're going to soak in that overnight. And just in case that ain't exciting enough, folks, old Mr. Raskin says that we should throw some garlic in there too. A couple cloves worth, so I put that in there. We're going to stir up a little bit. And by golly, that is some magic happening right there. Garlic, Moxie, and yellow-eyed beans. Oh, excuse me, soldier beans from the good state of Maine. So we're going to let this sit overnight, folks, and we'll take a look at how that comes out, and then we'll be on to the next step. Well, good morning, folks. It's time to get back at it. Them beans are all done soaking. Now we got to get on the business end of this thing. So now it's pretty much all downhill from here, folks. Now you can see them beans, they took on a nice brownish hue from soaking in that Moxie all night, and they're just good and ready to go. And we got our other ingredients here. We got 1 onion quartered up. We got that chorizo sausage from Portugal here. And then we got our dry ingredients, which is salt, pepper, sugar, baking soda, and of course mustard. You can't bake beans without mustard. Now folks, one of the things I like to do here is I like to take my dry ingredients and I pour that boiling water in there. Get it all dissolved up, mixed up good. Now, to aid the loading of the pot, we're just going to drain off the excess Moxie here into our dry, well now wet. This will just help dumping it into the pot without making a mess. Look at that. Can and a half of Moxie, and there's only a little bit left. That means the rest of it's all up in them beans. Now folks, there's one more bit of excitement here. It's the inaugural run of a new bean pot I got, and I'm going to take a minute to show it to you here. Oh, now folks, you feast your eyes on that right there. That's nothing short of a masterpiece. That's one corker of a bean pot right there. I had this bean pot made to order by the good folks up there, up mid-coast, Saltbox Pottery. They're up there in Woolwich, Maine. And oh, what an awful beautiful shop they have up there. So this is handmade, stone fired, whatever. And it's in the blueberry pattern. As you can see, it's quite nice. So we've had that in the oven heating up to get hot. When we put all the beans and the ingredients in there, they won't have to start from scratch in a cold pot. We'll have a nice hot pot ready to go. Okay folks, so we're coming down the home stretch now. We're going to take our quartered onion, drop that in there. Then we're going to put a few of them beans on top of that. And we're going to get some of that sausage in there. And some more beans. All very scientific, as you can see. I'm going to fill her up just about good. A little more. Put that sausage on top. And a little more beans. And there we go. We're full. We're full up. Now, get that good mixture of juice and seasonings. In they go. And of course, you can't have them drying out. So we're going to top her off. Some more of that boiling water we had on hand. Boy, they're thirsty. Here we go. Put the lid on. And it's all over but the shouting now, folks. She's going in the oven. Yep, so we got it set at 300. And we're going to say goodbye for a couple hours. We're going to check, make sure the water ain't dried out. And if it is, we're going to add some. But, good 6 hours that's going to take, folks. Well, okay, folks, it's 6 hours later, a whole lot of yard work and half a Red Sox game gone by, so it's time to take them beans out. Oh yeah, you know it's good when juice all over the pot like that and all over the pan underneath. You know you got some good stuff. Oh, look at that brown deliciousness. Now that right there, folks, Moxie Boomers, beans and sausage, can't beat it. Here's looking up your old address, folks. Oh boy. Boy, we got a winner here, folks. I think there'll be a little something special in store for Mother later tonight, too. Moxie Boomers. Can't beat it. Get it out of the Cooking with Moxie cookbook from the good folks down in Lisbon Falls. And we'll see you next time on What's for Supper with Dickie Baker.